In the top stories, the FTC increases the renewable energy rider limit. A port official says officers are doing a good job keeping drugs out of the island, and the CTUSAB head slams the WICB president. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, February 23, 2015. I'm Natasha Becker.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
Renewable energy producers have received some good news. On Monday, the Fair Trading Commission announced that the renewable energy rider limit has been increased from 9 megawatts to 20 megawatts. The limit was increased from 7 to 9 megawatts last September after industry players stressed that people were becoming more interested in producing their own energy and selling it to the national grid. The FTC now says 20 megawatts of photovoltaic energy can be accommodated without causing problems on the grid, although it has made a number of suggestions to ensure stability. Illegal drugs, especially marijuana, continue to turn up at the Bridgetown port, and smugglers are finding new ways to get them into the island. But the port's manager of security services, Anthony Ben, says officers are on top of the situation. Speaking on Monday as more than 20 border protection agencies began a one-week workshop on container security, he said they have a good track record of detecting the contraband. The workshop is the first of its kind and is being facilitated by the Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission of the Organization of American States. 3 people are recovering from gunshot wounds after masked men opened fire in New Orleans St. Michael on Sunday night. Residents remained tight-lipped when a Nation team visited the area on Monday, but reports indicate that 2 men, one carrying 2 guns, came into the district and opened fire. One man was shot in the abdomen and underwent surgery. Police investigations are continuing. The issue of leadership was in focus as the annual Week of Excellence opened on Monday at the Central Bank of Barbados. Prime Minister Frondell Stewart said excellence was not to be considered for only 1 week.
The pursuit of excellence year-round for Barbados is now an inescapable imperative of living in an increasingly globalized world. No nation in today's world can claim to make progress without an obvious commitment to the pursuit of excellence. For in the world in which we now live, there is no room for mediocrity. The race upon which we are embarked is for a place at the top and not a place at the bottom. So let us use this week to remind ourselves that an indispensable prerequisite of where we want to be is the attainment of excellence at all times in everything we do and everything we produce, whether goods or services.
And in announcing that the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados was launching a youth arm, President Cedric Morrill said promoting excellence in leadership was critical at all levels.
If Barbados is to continue to grow and develop along the lines envisioned by our national heroes, who in the main were our political and trade union icons, it is paramount that it strives to promote excellence in leadership at all levels. It is only through this means that the country will be better positioned to satisfy the efforts of ensuring good governance at the enterprise, organizational, and political levels.
UB Cave Hill has kicked off its annual research week with Principal Sir Hilary Beckles calling the region the perfect place to conduct research. Addressing the opening ceremony on Monday, he said there were several topics worthy of study in the Caribbean, including hypertension and diabetes, slavery, democracy, and the arts. Sir Hilary said West Indian people were the most global in the world, and the university had to reflect that, rather than be bogged down in insularity. The Republic Bank Right Start Primary School Speech Contest was launched over the weekend. The competition will run from February to June and is open to children ages 9 to 11, both in the public and private schools. Anthony Allen, a member of the Toastmasters Club, said the competition would help to improve communication.
I think it also promotes good public speaking and shows that some of the things we hear in other places, are not the types of standards that we should hold to. And that we should always try as much as possible for effective communication, proper communication, and good speaking so we can increase the relationships between one another.
In sport, CTUSAB President Cedric Murrell has taken West Indies Cricket Board President Dave Cameron to task. Mr. Murrell was speaking about the retweet which Mr. Cameron sent over the weekend, which said batsman Chris Gayle should be retired since he was not scoring any runs. Mr. Murrell said the role of a leader was to motivate and make players feel their best, and it should not have been publicly done. He was speaking on the topic of leadership during the Week of Excellence on Monday at the Central Bank of Barbados. Staying with cricket, West Indies one-day captain Jason Holder says Gayle was not focusing on the incident and the team still had faith in the explosive batsman.
Well, every time I see Chris Gayle, I expect to see one Chris Gayle, and that's a positive Chris Gayle. Albeit he hasn't been getting runs, we still have a lot of confidence in him. I just hope that he can come tomorrow and just get his eye in and just take it deep as possible for us.
West Indies will play Zimbabwe in their next match. Caribbean Games champion Mario Burke ended his secondary school stint at Harrison College on a winning note last Friday. Burke had little difficulty dismissing the field in the 100 meters. He returned to win the 200 meters, and his house Dalton regained the title they had lost last year from House Armstrong. And finally, a Connecticut man who was unhappy with his haircut faces criminal charges after police say he became enraged and threw items around the salon. 47-year-old Ellen Becker became even more angry when he found out the trim was going to cost him $50. Police say he kicked a hole in the wall, became hostile towards staff and customers, and threw a candle display and other items, then left. He returned later and demanded his hair be fixed, but the salon refused. And that's Nation News for Monday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thanks for joining us.